So blue collar workers are some of the hardest workers on the planet. But then why are so many of them broke, stuck, and just burned out from working all those long hours? Because there's a lie we were told when we were younger, and most of us do not realize it until we're older, and it's too late. So as you may know, I'm a blue collar worker myself. I work long hours, shift work, nights, weekends, holidays, kids' birthday parties, etc. And for years I believed the same thing as a lot of us were taught when we were growing up, and that's if you work hard enough, everything will be fine. Everything will fall into place financially. But here's the truth. Hard work alone does not build wealth. So the lie that we were taught about hard work and money is this. Just work harder, stay loyal to your job, to your company, put in the hours, work them long hours, all that overtime, and somebody will take care of you. But that mindset keeps a lot of blue collar workers grinding nonstop, but never actually getting anywhere. They're not actually building wealth. Hard work gets you paid, but it does not automatically get you financial freedom. And yes, hard workers keep the lights on. They keep the plants running, the trucks driving up and down the road with your groceries, going to Walmart. The jobs are getting done, but nobody's coming to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, look, man, you've worked hard enough. Here's financial freedom. So that part is up to you and only you. So the problem is that blue collar workers don't work hard enough. The problem is we're taught that you should just work more hours in order to gain financial wealth. You should buy stuff instead of buying income. You deserve it. You work hard, right? Go get that new truck. You're fine. You should rely on overtime instead of investing it. You should just go blow it. Go buy the bass boat if you work a lot of overtime, right? So we trade time for money. Most of us work hourly, but we're trading time for money pretty much forever. But this was one of my epiphanies, if you will, a few years back. And the moment things changed for me was when I stopped asking, how can I work harder? There's only so many hours I'm able to work during a week without just being completely exhausted, right? But I started asking, instead of how can I work harder, how can my money work harder than I do? And that is investing. That's ownership. That's building something that pays you even when you're off. That's, making money when you sleep is the dream, right? And that's achievable, I promise you that. And I used to think overtime was the answer, say I wanted to buy a new house or whatever, what have you. Hey, I can just work an extra overtime shift per month and pay the house note. Then I realized overtime is really just borrowing from my future energy. I was always tired after night shift. I worked 13 days in a row a few times. Terrible. My wife hated it. But what actually moved the needle was that I started investing consistently, dollar cost averaging. I started living below my means a little bit, and I used overtime as a tool, not a lifestyle. I used to work a shift of overtime and then go immediately blow that money on running shoes, or I have no idea what, but just blow my overtime money because I felt like I deserved it, right? Instead, I started, every time I worked an overtime shift, I would immediately, send a couple $100 to Acorns, and it added up over time. Now, I'm not saying that you should stop working hard. Hard work still matters. You still have to work hard in life, but hear this clearly. Hard work without a plan leads to burnout, and hard work with a plan leads to freedom. You have to have a plan, a financial plan in place to reach financial freedom. So in closing, if you're a blue collar worker, working the long hours, night shifts, and you can't see yourself doing that forever, and nobody's ever taught you this, you're not behind, you're just early. All right, you should start learning how money works. That is very easy in 2026. You're on YouTube now. Go look up some Dave Ramsey and just start at square one, right? You should start investing, dollar cost averaging into the S&P 500 over decades. You have like a 99% win rate with that. You're fine. Start building something outside of the clock. Can you turn a hobby into a business that you would enjoy? Cut grass in the summertime when you have some off time. I don't know, make TikTok videos. There's so many ways to make money in 2026. If you need extra income to invest, get after it. There's so many ways to make money nowadays. I promise you that. And if this hits home, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week.